There was once a queen so powerful, so feared, that even prophets had to hide for their lives. She ruled with pride, anger, and cruelty. She believed no one could stand against her power. Kings listened to her voice. Soldiers obeyed her command. An entire nation trembled under her influence. But one man dared to stand against her. A prophet named Elijah stood alone before her kingdom, and what happened next shook the entire land of Israel. This is the story of Queen Jezebel. Long ago, in the kingdom of Israel, there ruled a king named Ahab. He was king by title, but in heart he was weak. Instead of leading the people with courage and wisdom, he was easily influenced. Then came the woman who would change the history of Israel forever. Her name was Jezebel. She was the daughter of a foreign king, a princess raised in wealth, power, and idol worship. When she married King Ahab, she did not leave her beliefs behind. She came into Israel with pride, confidence, and a dangerous mission. She did not worship the God of Israel. She worshipped Baal, and she was determined that Israel would do the same. Soon the palace halls that once honored God became filled with priests of Baal. Golden statues were raised, altars were built, incense filled the air. The people began to bow before idols. Slowly, the nation drifted into darkness. But Jezebel was not satisfied with simply spreading idol worship. She wanted every voice that spoke for God to be silenced. So she ordered the prophets of the Lord to be hunted down. Many were killed. Others fled into caves and secret places. Fear spread across the land. People whispered in the streets. No one wanted to speak against the queen. Yet in the midst of that darkness, God raised a prophet. His name was Elijah. He was bold, fearless, and unshaken. Elijah came before King Ahab and declared a message from God. There shall be neither dew nor rain in these years except at my word. Soon the skies closed. No clouds formed. No rain fell. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The land became dry and cracked. Fields turned to dust. Animals weakened. Rivers shrank. The people cried out in hunger and thirst. Still, Jezebel refused to turn back. Instead, she grew more angry. She blamed Elijah. Then came the moment that would decide everything. After years of drought, Elijah called for all the people of Israel to gather on Mount Carmel. The prophets of Baal were summoned too. Hundreds of them came. The mountain was crowded with people. Everyone knew something great was about to happen. Elijah stepped forward and cried, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." Silence filled the mountain. Then Elijah proposed a challenge. 2 altars would be built, one for Baal, one for the Lord. The God who answered by fire would be the true God.
The prophets of Baal went first. They cried out from morning till noon, "O Baal, answer us!" They shouted louder. They danced around the altar. Still nothing happened. No fire, no voice, no answer. Then Elijah stepped forward. He rebuilt the broken altar of the Lord stone by stone. He laid the wood in order. He placed the sacrifice upon it. Then he ordered water to be poured over everything, once, twice, 3 times. The altar was soaked, the wood was drenched, even the ground around it was filled with water. Then Elijah prayed, "Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God." Suddenly, fire fell from heaven. It consumed the sacrifice. It burned the wood. It dried up the water. The people fell to the ground and cried, "The Lord, He is God." But when Jezebel heard what had happened, her fury burned hotter than ever. She sent a terrifying message to Elijah. "By this time tomorrow you will be dead." Even Elijah fled for his life. Such was the fear Jezebel spread. Yet her wickedness continued. One day King Ahab desired a vineyard that belonged to a man named Naboth. It was beautiful and close to the palace. Ahab wanted it badly, but Naboth refused. It was the inheritance of his fathers. Ahab returned home bitter and angry. When Jezebel saw his sadness, she asked what troubled him. After hearing the matter, she said, "Are you not the king?" Then she devised a cruel plan. She arranged false witnesses to accuse Naboth. He was declared guilty through lies. Because of those lies, he was put to death. Then Jezebel gave the vineyard to Ahab. This act of injustice reached heaven. God sent Elijah once again. He stood before Ahab and declared judgment. Disaster would come upon the royal house. Years later, the day of judgment arrived. A commander named Jehu rode toward the city. When Jezebel heard he was coming, she dressed herself in royal robes. Even at the end, pride filled her heart. She stood at the palace window and looked down at Jehu. But Jehu called to the servants above, "Who is on my side?" At his command, they pushed her from the window. Thus ended the reign of Queen Jezebel, the woman who once terrified a nation, the queen who challenged God, the ruler who thought her power would never end. Her story remains a warning. Pride may rise high, but no throne stands above God.